it till you know it. All right. Then you see on page 8. If you look on page 8, what two test plan subjects are we covering now? And, oh, okay, so we're going to cover some more of this. Now pay attention to what I'm doing up in this motherfucker. What does it say right here?
20%.
It's the biggest portion of your test, isn't it?
Yeah.
1/5 of your exam is management of care. That's why this packet is management of care. Okay, so when you know it, you're going to be all right, y'all. You're going to be fine. But 1/5 of your test is management of care. And when I ask each and every one of you, when I talk to you on the phone, what is that? You give me garbage every single time. You don't know what it is. Well, now you do, beloved. You know that it's prioritization. You know that it's delegation. You know it's the float nurse. You know it's ethical legal. You're going to know all this stuff because you're trying to take a test without the study guide. Where they do that at? You got to know the study guide. This is the motherfucking study guide. When you got a final exam, the teacher gave you, well, good teachers gave you a study guide. All right, you got to have a study guide, beloved. Okay, now, so this page, again, is going to be one of the most important pages in your life in this packet. And the top 2 areas where they really illuminate what you need to know for infectious disease is the 2 sections that say infectious disease and immunosuppressed. Those 2 are the biggest points of the infectious diseases. Some of you think maybe it's just infection. No, no, no. A big portion on NCLEX is immunosuppression. It is understanding that things like lupus, multiple sclerosis, sarcoidosis, those are immunosuppressed states. So go with me to that section just because that section is a big one. And you might get to this packet a little later and go, what the fuck is that? So if you look under the immunosuppression section, do you see all these little alphabet soup in the middle of the paragraph? They say MS, MG, blah, 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 blue, blue, blue. Y'all see that? Yes. Okay, let's go over those to make sure my babies know what that is. What's MS? Multiple sclerosis. What is MG? Myasthenia gravis. What is ALS? I lost y'all.
Yeah.
I said ALS. What does that stand for? No. She tried to do AMIO. She was close. You tried? AMIO. It's a girl's names. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. ALS. Yeah, so what they're going to do is spell that out for you. That's the pain in your ass. It ain't going to say Lou Gehrig's nowhere on this test. It's going to say ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Okay, that's Lou Gehrig's, right, guys? Okay, so don't worry. You'll be aware of it. GB, Guillain-Barré. What is RA? Rheumatoid arthritis. So, you know, the way this goes is these autoimmune diseases, including the ones after it, which says psoriasis, lupus, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, and sarcoidosis. These are big diseases that are rapidly growing in the United States, so much so that when I was you and I was in nursing school in the 80s, nobody knew anybody with any of this shit. Except for one person I knew because I worked in a nursing home with MS. I didn't know anybody with any of this other shit. And I knew somebody with psoriasis twice removed, okay? So everybody knows somebody with this shit now. Everybody. And that's how rapidly these disease processes are growing. So therefore, you as a nurse must be really aware that when they come in your hospital or your long-term care facility, they are at very high risk for infections that will kill them. What can kill them? The flu. What can kill them? Diarrhea. What can kill them? Pneumonia. All of these. And so when you still see patients coming into the hospital and maybe you see that they have on a mask, they probably have one of these autoimmune diseases. okay? Or they're a recovering cancer patient, or they're undergoing chemo, or they're having radiation, or any of these things in this list. So don't get too caught up on just the infectious process. Get caught up on the immunosuppressed process as well, okay? Now, right above it is a whole bunch of infectious diseases, and most of the infectious diseases in that paragraph above the immunosuppression is diarrhea, because you guys don't know your diarrhea, and I will be honest, I didn't either when I was in school. But now they put all these diarrheas on your HESI, on your ATI, all over your NCLEX, and you got to know it. So if you look under infectious disease, I have a little cheat sheet for what kind of people make the best roommates. I told you to put them in the room with rats. What's rats? Renal, asthma, thyroid. What does that mean? What does that mean? Renal, asthma, thyroid, and STDs. What does all that mean? You can't catch their infection if they have one, right? There's nothing to catch. I can't catch your thyroid. Hello. So the rats, when we say put them in a room with some rats, the renal patient makes a great roommate. The asthma patient makes a great roommate. Your thyroid disease makes a great roommate. Any STD you have, unless you fucking that patient, that's going to be the best roommate. In other words, I can't catch your HIV. Stop tripping on the bullshit. I can't unless you give me a blood transfusion, or as a nurse, me and you about to bump and grind in this room, and that ain't gonna never happen. That's a separate class. So you need to think about that, because y'all be tripping out over HIV for nothing. You have to remember it's an STD, period. It's sexually transmitted. And I mean, roommates do bump and grind, but I mean, come on, that don't happen very much, okay? So you gotta know rats are the best people to put somebody in the room with. Now, I did hook you up with who needs a private room no matter what. And notice the big one, airborne precautions. Yeah. That's private room all day and night, okay? Meningitis, why is meningitis a private room? Because it's also seizure precautions, not just no, it's not airborne, it's droplet. So it's also seizure precautions. That's why meningitis is in a room by itself. Now, all these diarrheas are the ones that most of y'all don't know, and I did not know them either when I was in nursing school. I look at the stuff they expect y'all to know and be like, this is crazy. Okay, so look at the ones I wrote down, y'all. VRE, C. diff, rotavirus, colitis. I even put stool incontinence in here because if you are having stool incontinence, you probably have Alzheimer's and you're wiping it all over everywhere. And what do we say about all GI? Dirty. All GI is dirty. Okay, diarrhea is contagious until we prove it's not. That's 99% of patients. So cholera, norovirus, highlight norovirus because everybody getting it. I was just at the hairdresser the other day and 3 people in there talking about they know somebody with it and they real sick and one of them had to be hospitalized. Somebody else needed an IV. Norovirus is extremely common. It is on the cruise ships. Okay, so come from people not washing their hands, eating all that damn buffet food on the cruise ship. So when you go on a cruise ship, if you know like I know, your ass will have hand sanitizer all day. Now, I will say that about Royal Caribbean. They had the hand washing police up out there. They ain't playing with you. And the little Filipino girl would be out there talking about, washy. And then she was little, but she would bump your ass up off this ship if you think you coming in their little cafeteria without washing your hands. They got the little washing stations on either side. Then the girl came in there with a wet bikini. No, cover up. She's like, cover up. And she kicked her out of the cafeteria. I said, oh, shit, I like this. Okay, so this norovirus is real, okay? Then you see the hepatitis and the gastritis. This is what I need your B-hand to do. Take your highlighter, highlight Shigella, highlight that cholera above it, and highlight that giardiasis on the next line. All your diarrheas, just highlight the hell out of them because they are big. Those 3 are big. Cholera is above Shigella, and giardiasis is on the next line. Y'all see that? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's big. Now, these people need a private, all these damn diarrheas need a private room. But look what I wrote and highlighted. Do you see where it says non-infectious diarrhea? Who is that? Only 2 people. Crohn's and ulcerative colitis may be your last resorts for roommates because they technically are not infectious. They have autoimmune disease. But just think if you were them experiencing what they're going through, you would want them to go, you would want to be in a private room. So if you have a private room and can put them in one, great. But what the test is trying to see is that you get that all diarrhea is infectious, needs to go in a private room, except for 2 of them, which is autoimmune. And let me just say this that you can put in your little notes. Never give patients with diarrhea anti-diarrhea medicine, except for ulcerative colitis and Crohn's. Because the last thing you need to do when you have diarrhea, which is infectious and contagious, is keep it in the body because it can infect and kill the body. You need it out of the body. That is only true for infectious diarrhea. That is not true for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. You can give them anti-diarrheas all you want, and we recommend it highly. Does that help a little? Okay, all right, so that's just that.